Hello guys! Let's pick up right where we left off, continuing to reimagine this timeless history in a brand new way, keeping all the original parts intact. I understand. You want me to shorten the story by removing entire paragraphs but without changing the remaining sentences or the plot. Here is a shortened version by removing large sections, keeping the core narrative intact. When Solon had in this way given these young men the second spot, Croesus broke in angrily. What, visitor from Athens, is my own good fortune, then, so completely made as nothing by you, that you do not even put me on the same level as common men? Oh, Croesus, replied the other, you asked a question about the human condition, of one who knows that the power above us is full of jealousy and fond of troubling our lives. For yourself, O Croesus, I see that you are wonderfully wealthy and are the ruler of many nations. But concerning that about which you asked me, I have no answer to give until I hear that you have ended your life in happiness. He who brings together the greatest number of advantages, and keeps them to the day of his death, then dies peacefully. That man alone, sire, is, in my judgment, worthy to bear the name of happy. But in every matter we must pay good attention to the end, for very often God gives men a flash of happiness and then throws them into ruin. Such was the speech which Solon made to Croesus. After Solon had gone away, a dreadful punishment, sent by God, came upon Croesus. First he had a dream in the night, which showed him truly the evils that were about to happen to him through his son. For Croesus had two sons. The other was distinguished far above all his companions in every pursuit. The name of this last was Atys. It was about this son that he dreamed he would die by the strike of an iron weapon. Now it happened that while he was making plans for the wedding, there came to Sardis a man in misfortune, who had upon him the stain of having shed blood. He was by race a Phrygian and belonged to the family of the king. His name was Adrastus. The man I unintentionally killed was my own brother. For this my father drove me from the land, and I lost everything. Then I ran here to you. From that time on, Adrastus lived in the palace of the king. It happened that at this very same time there was in the Mysian mountain called Olympus a huge monster of a boar. At last they sent messengers to Croesus, to let your son come with some chosen young men and hunting dogs, so that we may free our country of the animal. But Croesus thought of his dream and answered, Say no more of my son going with you. That may not happen in any way. But the king's son, hearing what the request of the Mysians was, came in suddenly. On the refusal of Croesus to let him go with them, he spoke to his father like this, What sort of face must I wear as I walk to the public square or come back from it? Either let me go to the hunt for this boar then, or give me a reason why it is best for me to do as you wish. Then Croesus answered, My son, it is not because I have seen in you either cowardice or anything else that has displeased me that I hold you back. It is because a vision which came to me in a dream as I slept warned me that you were fated to die young, pierced by an iron weapon. Ah, father, returned the young man. Now the dream, you said yourself, foretold that I should die struck by an iron weapon. But what hands does a boar have to strike with? What iron weapon does he use? I ask you, therefore, let me go with them. There you have me, my son, said Croesus. I agree to let you go. Then the king sent for Adrastus the Phrygian and said to him, Adrastus, now therefore it is right for you to pay back the good deeds you have received at my hands by agreeing to go with my son on this hunting trip and to watch over him. Adrastus answered, As you urge it, and I am bound to please you. For truly it does become me to pay back your good deeds. I am willing to do as you wish. For your son, whom you put into my care, be sure you will get him back safe and sound. When they reached Olympus, they spread out looking for the animal. Then the stranger, the man who had been cleansed of blood, whose name was Adrastus, he also threw his spear at the boar but missed his aim and struck Atys. So the son of Croesus was killed by the point of an iron weapon, and the warning of the vision came true. Then someone ran to Sardis to carry the news to the king. In the violence of his sorrow, he called out loudly on Jupiter, the cleanser, to be a witness of what he had suffered at the stranger's hands. Soon the Lydians arrived, carrying the body of the youth, and behind them followed the killer. He took his place in front of the body and, stretching out his hands to Croesus, gave himself up to his power with sincere requests that he would sacrifice him upon the body of his son. Then Croesus, when he heard these words, felt pity for Adrastus, in spite of the bitterness of his own disaster, and so he answered, Nuff, my friend. I have all the payback that I need since you give the sentence of death against yourself. But truly it is not you who has hurt me, except so far as you have unknowingly dealt the blow. Some god is the author of my misfortune, and I was warned of it a long time ago. Croesus after this buried the body of his son with the honors that fit the occasion. Adrastus, thinking of himself as the most unfortunate person he had ever known, as soon as all was quiet about the place, killed himself upon the tomb. Croesus, having lost his son, gave himself up to mourning for 2 full years. Thanks for watching this dramatic chapter of ancient history. If you're captivated by these tales of fate, dreams, and power, show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Tell us in the comments below, do you believe in prophecies and destiny, or do you think we make our own luck? Stay tuned for the next part.